Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel at Magboya Yosise Technology Academy Salon. So in today's lesson, we are gonna discuss about how to break a complex problem using a flowchart. As we have different types of problem in programming, more especially in Python, but this type of problem, if you want this problem to be very easy so that you can solve them at a faster rate, what you need to do, you need to break this type of problem. No matter how complex the problem is, you can just try to break this problem using a flowchart. A flowchart simply means it's just a structure where you can understand how the code works, how the code performs in terms of when you execute a program. So in today's lesson, we're gonna see, of course, we had a flowchart here wherein you see is divided into different parts, these flowcharts. So first one here, you see let's say you start your code. Now you generate a random word. So of course, what we want to do here today, we want to pick a random word and check if the answer is in this word. For an example, we have a word, let's say a word that is, let's say an apple, for an example. So in this apple, now we want to run a code that when you select this word or this letter, then the programming or the code needs to tell you that, yeah, this word you select or this letter you select from this word is within the range of words we use. So in that case, we are going to use a list in order to generate this type of code. Of course, we have treated about list, for loop, randomization, while loop, and the rest. So we are going to combine all these aspects we have treated before and we'll try to run this piece of code. Actually, the problem we want to discuss here today has nothing to do with these flowcharts completely, but almost we are going to use these flowcharts. About 80 to 90% of these flowcharts we are going to use. The only aspect we are going to skip, because this problem is too complex, I don't want us to go too much on it so that it will take more time and it will be more complex. But I'm just trying to explain how we treat this type of problem using these flowcharts. So now our target here is we want to write a piece of code that has to do with a list of words. So this list of words, we can generate different words in this piece of code, wherein we need to randomly choose a letter from the list of words given. So when we choose this letter, if the letter is available in the list of words, then it can give you right or wrong. But we have different steps. So the first step here, we need to randomly choose a word from the word in the given list and assign it to a variable. So when we assign this word to a variable, then we print, then it needs to give us the output based on the variable given. So the second one here, we need to ask the user to guess a letter. Okay, we ask the user, guess a letter. If the letter you guess is within the range of words, then we can also give the output that this is within, is right or wrong. So we are going to do this type of programming today. As I said, we are not going to deep into this till this, because this one has to do with like have they run out of life, lose a life. So we are not going to deal with this one. The only aspect we are going to treat is here. We start our code, then we generate a random word. So the word from the word list, we generate a random word. So from this word, then we generate many blanks as the letter in the word. So let's say, for an example, the letter in the word is apple. So apple has 5 blanks, A-P-P-L-E. So in this case, we need to generate 5 blanks, wherein each letter can occupy 1 blank of the word. So then we come to this step that says, is the guessed letter in the word? So if the letter we guess is within the word here, within the words on the word list, if yes, then we replace the letter on the blank space. So if no, so that's why I said we're going to omit this one here, this aspect here. So we are only going to consider this left side of the code to write this piece of program. So now if we replace the blank with the letter, if yes, we replace the blank with the letter, then we ask here again, are the blanks filled? If the blanks are filled, if yes, then the program ends. Okay, but if no, then we'll come here again, we'll ask the user again to guess another letter. Then is the guessed letter in the word? If yes, again, we'll replace the blank. We'll do this over and over again till our programs or our word are filled completely from the blank spaces. Okay, so if this is your first time of watching this lesson, don't forget to hit that subscription button, like, comment and share, okay, because this one will help us improve the content and try to do more interesting videos that are more educative. So as you know, we are running our programs remotely using Replic accounts. So you can just go to Replic here, then we start our code. To Replic. So first of all, what you want to do here, let's say here, this first step, step 1. So let's say this is step 1, okay? Step 1. So now what we need to do here, we'll first say word list, because let's say the list, all of us have treated list before. So here we can add as many as we can, but here we are just going to consider 3, which is apple, banana, and cherry for an example. So now we have this fruits here, apple, banana, and cherry. So we assign this to a word. These are words in list. So here we say word underscore list. So word underscore list is equals to, so now we say it's equals to this one, cherry. So we have this list of words. So now what we want to do here, we want to choose a word randomly, but first at the starting of our code, we need to import a module known as RandomModule. But first, let's just try to write our piece of code here. We can just write it here, import random, So now we say choose word. So first we say random.trace, because say random, we want to choose a word. So now we say words of list. So we say word underscore list. So now we say chosen word. We assign this to a variable known as chosen word. Then we say equals to. Okay, we say equals to. So now, of course, this we need to import this from the starting of the code, so we can copy or we cut this, we place it at the starting of the code. we'll place it up here. So this will place it up here. Import random. So now what we need to do now is to tell the user. Now let's tell the user to guess a letter. So we say guess a letter. Guess a letter. We tell the user guess a letter. Then this is an input we are gonna give. We say input. We tell the user to guess a letter. Here is an input. We say guess a letter. And the guess letter here supposed to be in lowercase. Let's give here our quotation. Okay, guess a letter. Then the letter, we want these letters we are gonna guess here to be lowercase. We say dot lower. Dot lower. Okay, so now this will assign this to a variable known as guess. So this is guess. So we are done with this. So now what we need to do here, we want also to use a loop. We want to use a for loop in order to generate these guesses. So let me just give let me just explain. Let me use this hash. Step 2. So step 2 here we say we ask the user to choose a letter from the list of words, Okay, so now let me just explain this more. So now we want to use the list. So now we can say after this guess, now we can say here for letters in chosen word, for letter in chosen word, chosen underscore word, in chosen word, for letter in chosen word, if letter equals to guess. So now if the letter is equals to guess, so we print correct. We print here, we tell the user correct. Okay, otherwise we say wrong, else we say we print wrong, print wrong. Print wrong. So this is the first aspect of the code we are going to treat here today. So first, let's just try to run this code and see what will be our output here if we need any modification as to how we want the code to run. So first, before I run this code, let me just go back to the charts and explain further. So what exactly we want to do here is, first we start our code. As you see from first step, we first import the random module. Of course, we start then we import the random module because we wanna give a list of words. These words are fruits, apple, banana, and cherry. So now we generate a random word. This word, as I said, are the fruits we illustrated up there in the code. So now we want to generate as many blanks as the letters in the word. But for now, for what we want to run, we can't generate blanks for now. Okay, generating a blanks is the last aspect we're going to treat. So now what we're going to do is to ask the user to guess a letter. So now first we ignore this, even though it's supposed to come from random, come here, generate blank, and ask the user to guess. Here we're going to do it, but I just want to take the code step by step so that we'll see how it works. So now if we ask the user to guess a letter, so this guess letter, if the letter is among the words, if yes, then we replace to the blank. So as I said, now we are not yet generating the blanks. So we just want to run this code and see. So what we'll do, if the word here is apple, for an example, APPLE, as you know, it has 5 letters. So the first letter, the first blank is assigned to A, the second is assigned to P, third P, L, and the rest. So that's what we're going to do. So let's come and first run our code and see. Let's run our code. Okay. So now let's hit the run button here and see. Okay. So now you see here they said what? Guess a letter. Guess a letter. Now we need to give an input. We are the user. So now the computer asks us to guess a letter. So now let's say the first letter I want to guess, let's say is A. So you see, of course, we have challenge here in this word. So we guess the letter we guess is A. So now you see, from when we guess the letter, automatically you know which type of word is this, which type of word that has A at the second place, the fourth place, and the last place, which letter. So if you check here within the list of words here, definitely you will know the word that has A at the second place, fourth place, and sixth place is banana. So definitely you know the letter A here is assigned to this banana because it's only banana that has 3 A's. So you see here the first is wrong, wrong, wrong. So again, we need to improve this code because we want to use a code that will definitely fill the blanks of this code. So let's go ahead and run again. Let's see. Then we'll do a guess again. This is like you are playing a game with your colleague. Then you say, okay, let's guess a letter, and the letter we guess gonna be between these words or among these words, list of words given. So now let's put C for an example. Enter. So C is a correct, wrong, wrong, wrong. So which one is this? It means which one that has C at the starting is cherry. So definitely you know when we guess a C, the second one, C, that has C at the starting of the code is cherry. So this is C correct, then the last one is wrong. So let's run again and see. Okay. Guess a word. Now let's say P. Enter. So you see this. Guess a letter P. When we say P, then it gives us all wrong. Wrong, 1, 2. So it means both banana and cherry has no P. Okay. So if we want to give spaces on our guesses here, for an example, when you say guess a letter, you see this one almost join. To solve this problem, we can just give a space here. Okay, when we give a space here, let's cancel, delete all the console here. And now let's run again. You see, it will definitely give us space. A letter again. So now you see the gap, now you see the space. When we run this one, we say guess a letter, you see the gap now. So now we can just guess here A, and we enter, you see the space. So now it says again wrong. So it means which of the word here is this last word, cherry, that has no A in it. So now what we want to do here now, we want to print. Let's clear this again. Now we want to print the spaces. As I said, we need to give a gap between the letters, or underscore wherein the letters can, it actually give the blanks of the letter. So here, let's come here and say, after this list of words, so now we want to give a space. So here we say print, we use the f string function. So we say print, when we use print here, we use the f string, when colon, then we use PSSST. That is just to generate for us blanks. So we say the solution is the chosen word. Okay, so here now we say the solution is the chosen word. So now let's see here. Okay, so now let's see. We use the print function here. So we want to try to run this piece of code again and see what will be. So here, this will, let's give full stop. See, yeah, we need to close this. Okay, so we'll close this one. So now let's try to run this again and see what will be the changes we can see. So of course, you see here, the solution is cherry. So it means now we'll try to solve the problem we are having, wherein you can just see different words. You don't know which type of word you want to do a guess. So now this is very simple now. So now you see, when we use this print and f string function to tell us the solution, because this random word is generated by the computer, so you have no choice of selecting which word you want to guess, do a guess. So now they tell us the solution is cherry, guess a letter. So now we can say, let's say now we guess a letter E. Then we enter. So of course you can see cherry, the E is between the H and the first R. So you see, correct, this is correct, wrong, correct. So we perform this type of code using this. I think this one is more explanatory, as you know, it will tell us the solution, which word we want to guess. So now let's try once more and see which other solution you're going to ask to guess. The solution is banana. So the solution we want here is banana. So now if we guess, let's say we guess A, as you can see here, we guess A or N, let's say A. If the solution is banana, if we guess A, we need to have 3 correct blanks filled, okay? So these blanks are the second, the fourth, and the 6th. So we'll enter. So you see, the second, the fourth, and the 6th, they are correct. So now, what next we want to do here is, okay, let's make this more interesting. So now we want to display an empty list called display. We want to create this list so that the chosen word, like if we say apple, we get the space or the blanks shown. Okay, to do this one is our last aspect we're going to treat this lesson. As I said, the flowcharts is just the basic aspect we're going to consider. The other aspect are the right where they say live, and that one has to do with handsman gaming. So I think it will be very difficult, like if we use the same logic now we complete everything. So I need to break this step by step. As I said, we use these flowcharts, we consider the left hand side of the code, then we try to correct this solution. Probably the next lesson we're going to try to fix everything, because that one has to do with ASCII code, where we need to draw some diagram within the code. Okay, so that one needs to take a time and do it. But this is the most important one, because we need to understand all these basics, how the codes are executing, how when we enter, what will be our outputs. So now, as I said, we want to create an empty list called display. So now we can say here, okay, let me just say now we want to create an empty list called display. Okay, so now I want to create an empty list called display. This is what we want to do. So first, what we need to do, we need to say display, then we give our square brackets, display, then we give this square brackets. So now after this, we use the for loop to loop through the list of words we want to use. Okay, so now we say for letters in chosen word, for letter in chosen, need to give an underscore here, for letter in chosen word, chosen CHO, not double. Okay, be mindful of the way you type. So for letter in chosen word, so now we'll give our colon. So now for letter in chosen word, we say display. Display, we're gonna give an addition. So we want to display the blank. So now we'll give the blank here. Okay, so now we want to display the blank. We want to display a blank here. So now we can say here print display, print display, print display. So first, let's try to run this piece of code and see. Of course, we are having some error here for this. Let's see. The variable letter is string. Okay. Then, okay, for letter in chosen word. Okay. Okay, first let's run this code. Let's clear the console. Okay. So now let's run here. Okay, it's taking some time. So now you see, can you see here? They said what? The solution is cherry. Did you see the structure of this? So if the solution is cherry, so if we guess a letter, now the first letter has to do with C. Then if we guess second and third has to do with C and H. The third and so you see we guess all till the last letter. So if you want to guess, you see the structure. So now let's guess a letter here. Let's see. Now they said it's cherry. Of course, you know what to guess. This one is like we are given already the guide. So we enter. So we enter, you see, the first blank here is correct. But the second and the rest are wrong because T is only on the first one. Okay, so let's run again and see. Okay. Yeah. So again, let's say R. An example. Enter. Oh, sorry. So you see, when we say R, they said what? The solution is apple. When we enter random, mind you, this thing is running randomly. Okay, it chooses which type of letter or word we're gonna use. So when we use R, it means there is no R in apple. So as you can see, the number of blanks here are 5. So they said from the first to the last are what? Wrong, because there is no one word here in apple, no letter in apple that has R. Okay, so now let's further try to play with this code and see. You can also use the range in order to display. Like for here, after display, you can say the range of the word chosen. If you want to, you can just change this. You can just say for range, the length of range in chosen word. So this again, you can see the range. But I think this is more appropriate, as you can see. So the first word occupy this first one. The first word and the second occupy this second. The third and the fourth occupy first, second, and third occupy this. So as you can see, as you go along, you see. So it means if you have only the first one correct, so only this first row is correct, then the second and the rest are wrong. So also here, everything here is wrong. So you can go ahead, play with this code. As I said, the flowchart is just similar to this, but not completely, because as I said, we are using ASCII code. So ASCII code give us structures like this in order to draw any diagram in programming. It will give like the way you see this one here. But I don't want to go to that one much because we have another time to deal with all these things. Okay, so basically, as you see here, that's the way we break this type of problem in the more appropriate way. Okay, so first here we import random. As you know, we want to choose a word from this list, random word. So here we choose a letter from this word. So first, since we use this random module, the computer will tell us which word we want to select a letter from. So as you see, when we run here, that's why we call this fstring function to choose a word for us. This is an inbuilt module, random module. So it selects which type of word, then that's just a leakage that is given to us. So when we select, the first word is correct and the rest are wrong. So you can play with this code, change everything here, just play with it, and you see how best you're gonna implement this one. Or if you have time, go through these flowcharts above here. Of course, we'll fill the blanks. All the blanks are filled. If all the blanks are filled, that's a program that will continue running till you fill all the blanks you have. Okay, so for now we just start from start, generate all this, and all this left hand side have been completed. So now, this is your assignments. Try to implement this, lose a life, write a code that have the fun. Have they run out of life? This use the hangman. Just check for this piece of code. You can see how you can complete this program. Okay, so for now we are just gonna complete this program from here. We're gonna stop from here. So again, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe on the channel, like, comment, and share more. Thank you for watching the video. See you on the next lesson.